In this video, we are going to learn how do we assign common names to the organic compounds. Till now, we have been using mid, eth, prop, but, pent as a suffix for hydrocarbons in IUPAC nomenclature, but in this type of nomenclature, the prefix would be different. As you can see in the upper left corner of this board, that what are the prefixes that we are going to use here for the hydrocarbons. If the number of carbon in the hydrocarbon is 1, then our prefix would be form. If the number of carbon would be 2 in the parent chain, then our prefix would be acid. If the number of carbons would be 3, then our prefix would be propyne. If the number of carbon will be 4, then our prefix would be butyl. If the number of carbon would be 5, then our prefix would be valer. Now, one more additional thing that you have to keep in your mind, that if you ever encounter a 3-carbon chain with 1 double bond, then the prefix that you are going to use would be acryl. If you encounter a 4-carbon chain with 1 double bond, then the prefix would be proton. Now before we move ahead to the suffix part, I would like to tell you that a name consists of a prefix and suffix. Prefix and suffix together constitute the name of the organic compound. Now moving ahead to the suffix part, if a CHO functional group is present with the main hydrocarbon chain of that compound, then our suffix would be aldehyde. If the COOH group, as you all know that this is carboxylic acid group, if the carboxylic acid group is present, then our suffix would be ec acid. If an ester group is present with the main hydrocarbon chain, then our suffix would be ate. Prefix plus ate. If an anhydride group is present, then our suffix would be ec anhydride. If acid halide, I mean COX group is present, then our suffix would be wild halide. If amide group is present, CONH2 group is present, then our suffix would be amide. If CN group is present, then our suffix would be O-nitrile. Remember, here the CN group is attached with the main hydrocarbon part from its carbon end, but when a CN group is attached with the main hydrocarbon part from its nitrogen end, then our suffix would change to O-isonitrile. Now all these things, I mean this common nomenclature is basically designed or defined for aldehyde, carboxylic acid and its derivatives. For understand the application part of all this information, I have written 2 examples in the lower left corner of the board. As you can see, there are 2 compounds, HCOOH and CH3COOH. Let's see how do we nomenclate them, how do we assign the common name to them. So in the first example, as you can see, there is only 1 carbon present in it, so our prefix would be form, and COOH, I mean the carboxylic acid group is present in it, so our suffix would be ic acid, so the entire name becomes formic acid. Now in the second example, we have CH3COOH group. As you can see, there are 2 carbon in this compound. Remember one thing, that the bracket that I have shown here in the functional group list indicates that these carbons are included in the parent chain. For example, as you can see in CH3COOH, the carbon of the carboxylic acid has been included in the main parent chain. That is why I am saying there are 2 carbons in the parent chain. So for 2 carbon, the prefix we use is acid, and the suffix for carboxylic acid would be ec acid, so the entire name becomes acetic acid. I hope it is clear to you now, and to have more clarity on how to assign the common names, I'm going to make a video in which I would be taking the examples of every functional group, and we will see that how we assign these names.